Hey everybody, it's Justice for Comics. It is Tuesday. Wanted to just do a quick video, show a book that I got in the mail here off of eBay recently that has some news on it potentially. I've highlighted it before. I'll kind of go over that a little bit, and then also some comic book news, some things to look for, and then a sort of a store exclusive speculation, one that I think has a chance to be good. I've heard some good things about it. So yeah, let's jump into it here. So first off, I got this in the mail, Richard Dragon, Kung Fu Fighter #1. I wasn't really familiar with this comic book. There were a lot of comic books in the 70s. Obviously Iron Fist, if you were into the karate themed superhero, I think Iron Fist was certainly more popular. I know there was some Bruce Lee comic books as well that came out. So this one I was not as familiar with, Richard Dragon. Yeah, I read the issue. It's definitely very hokey. It has that. It's not a well-written comic book by any means. It's you can read through it pretty easily and you get the gist of what's going on, but it's basically the formation of these two fighters under the instruction of a sensei, and how they fight injustice. So Richard Dragon is the main character, and then his good friend Benjamin Turner, who ends up becoming the Bronze Tiger in issue 18. So the speculation here is that this issue could go up in value. I think it already has. I mean, I bought this for around 20 bucks, and they're selling for $50 to $60 already on eBay. So, this book is definitely already moving. And this one's in decent grade too. This is probably an 8.0 or better. So it's hard to find an 8 in a high grade, mainly because it's, it's got the black border. This one's really nice because it's got no spine ticks. So I love a comic book that doesn't have any spine ticks. It's got one little blunting on the corner. Edges are pretty sharp otherwise. And the interior of the book has a little bit of, the pages are a little, I would say off-white for sure. Nowhere near white. But, this is an older book. This book came out in, I think, 1972. So it is an older book. It's as old as I am. I was born in 1972. So, it's a 25-cent comic book. So it tells you the age right there. But first appearance of Richard Dragon, first appearance of Benjamin Turner. Benjamin Turner becomes the Bronze Tiger in issue 18. That's the other book to get, is issue 18 of this series. It was a 1 through 18. So the last issue, Benjamin Turner becomes obviously a bad guy, becomes a villain. He becomes Bronze Tiger. And Bronze Tiger is rumored to be in the new Suicide Squad 2 movie, played supposedly by Idris Elba. So, we'll see if that happens. It's narrowed down to either him, or the other speculation is that it could be Sportsmaster 2. Those are the two characters that potentially could. James Gunn likes to have kind of offbeat characters. I think the other character, what is it? Spotman. I think that's the name of the character. Then the other one's Rat. I think it's Ratman. So, they're definitely obscure characters. He did that with Guardians of the Galaxy. He can take kind of an obscure character and make that character interesting. So this book is on the move. If you happen to run across it, you might find it in a back issue bin somewhere. It seems unlikely. I don't think I ever ran across this book. Looking through tons and tons of comic book bins, and I've gone through a lot of boxes that had 1970s books, but for some reason I've just never come across this. So I wasn't familiar with it, but I think this book is definitely a good speculation, especially if you can find it in a really high grade. I don't think there was any that were graded on eBay when I looked. So be on the lookout for that in your travels. Another thing I wanted to show on CBR DC is announcing a Joker Harley Black Label series. What's cool about this is you've got Cami Garcia is doing the writing, and let's see here. That writer has been on Beautiful Creatures and X-Files, Agents of Chaos. So I'm not too familiar with the writer, but willing to give that a shot. I'm familiar with the artist Mike Mayhew. He's done Star Wars. He's done a lot of cover work too. In this cover here, this is a Mattina cover. So you've got Francisco Mattina covers, and you've also got Miko Suyan doing interior artwork as well. So it looks like a really, really good team. I'm interested to see what they do with this series. So this is definitely something that I think you want to make sure you pre-order in advance. So make sure you do that. Joker Harley Criminal Sanity. I think that has a September release. If I remember reading this correctly, I think it was a September release on this. Yeah, because I don't remember seeing, yeah, I didn't see this in the August pre-orders, so this is probably September. So that's kind of cool. I thought that was worth mentioning to make sure you're on the lookout for. The other thing I wanted to highlight was this comic book called Category Zero. This is a Scout comic book that's coming out, I believe, this Wednesday. You can still buy the A cover for $3.99, either off of Scout Comics website, or I've seen it on Midtown as well. It's available. So it's kind of a modern day take on the X-Men. The entire planet is infected with a pathogen that triggers a gene, and only 1% of the planet has that particular gene. So, you know, very similar to what happens with X-Men or mutants with the X-Men. It's going to be interesting to see how they develop the story. There is an ash can available also off their website for $5. I see people on eBay selling this for like $40. So I don't know what that's about, but they're saying it's only limited to 500 copies, but it's still available on their website, which is interesting. There's also this web store exclusive. I like this cover a lot for $10. It's got the old teddy bear on top of the laundry basket. So I have no idea what that means to the story at all, but I haven't read this book, but I've read a couple reviews online, and the reviews were pretty good. A lot of people are interested in this story. Scout Comics does have a couple good books here and there. I would say overall, I don't look to buy every book that they have out, but I've read a couple reviews, and a couple YouTubers have said that they really, really like this book. I think Simple Man Comics has mentioned it as being a really, really good book to make sure you pick up. So I thought I'd highlight this cover for $10. There's only 300 copies. If this series really, really takes off, I think this and the ash can could jump up a lot in value. I mean, obviously the ash can, people are asking like $40 to $50 on eBay already, and you can buy it for $5 off their website. But this is a $10 book that's only got 300 copies available. So, you know, if this series takes off, this could easily be a $50, $60, $100 book if it really, gets attention, if it gets optioned. I mean, that's probably long-term on that. But, yeah, I just thought I'd mention it to you guys. $10 is a pretty reasonable exclusive offer. You'll have to pay shipping as well, but you could buy it directly from Scout Comics, and don't buy it off eBay or any of those places where they're going to charge you more. But that's what I would take a look at. And also make sure you pre-order this Joker Harley series. Black Label means it's going to be $10. So pre-ordering it, you'll get a significant discount. So make sure you do that. And look for my video tomorrow. I have a video out highlighting comic books that are coming out the following Wednesday. So look for that video. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for notifications. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Are these, you think these are worth trying to pick up or not? Love to hear your comments, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks.